Carlos. Today I wanted to show you guys 4 exercises, especially if you're dealing with knee pain or you kind of tend to strain your back once in a while. These ball exercises are amazing. Okay, so there are 4. Now, these 4 exercises are going to do 2 things. One is stabilize your joints, and secondly, is going to strengthen your muscles without straining your back or hurting your knees. Okay, so as you can see, I'm sitting on a balance ball, and the key when you use your balance ball is that you're sitting upright at 90 degrees. So if you're like too low to the ground, like your knees are like this, you might need to inflate the ball, or if you're sitting up too high, you might need to deflate the ball. Okay, so now the first exercise is called the total knee extension, or TKE sometimes I refer to, and we're going to use a wall and your ball, and the ball is going to be going right behind the knee, the crease of the knee. Okay, you're going to put your foot here, and you're going to push the knee into the wall, noticing that your quad muscles is contracting. Okay, now this leg is just there for balance. All right, now make sure when you do this exercise that you're not pushing your hip. You don't swing your butt. You just squeeze the leg into the ball. So the key factor, if you probably notice, is that your foot is under the ball. It's not in front of the ball. Okay, and then one last thing, try not to push on your toes. So push, make sure that your foot is flat, and then when you push, there's equal weight through the bottom of the foot, if that makes sense. All right, so that's your exercise number 1, the total knee extension. Exercise number 2 is an old school one that most people, when they do it, they feel like they're doing the leg strength, but as a result, they end up hurting their knees, and that's the wall sit. The wall sit, traditionally, most people put the ball up here, up on their upper back, shoulder blade area, and then they go at it, right? Now, what happens is you get your leg strung up here, but then your knee hurt. So you're limiting how far down you can go, okay? So what I want you to work on is bringing the ball down lower, low back, tailbone, and then work on getting to that range of motion where you feel it down the thigh, okay? Now, I want you to notice 2 things. One is my feet are way up there in front of me where I can see the entire shoes, not just the toes, the entire tube of it, okay? And then the other thing, I'm kind of when it's slanted, so my shoulders and my neck are free up, and then I can go down, and as I can go down, the ball goes with the curve of my back, okay? So it's not about being straight because your back is not straight, it's follow the curve. So we're gonna go down to where you feel the thigh and then back up. As you get better, right, you can start doing one leg squat, and that you can do it this way, where you put one foot to push, that will be your one-legged squat. The other leg, you can have it in front or you can have it behind, and the same premises. Low back to tailbone area with the ball, and then you're pushing through the entire bottom of the foot down until you feel it right down the middle. So nothing is here because your positioning is right. Okay, so you're gonna go down as far as you want to, and then up, and you can just really work your quads without hurting your knee and protecting your back. So those are the first 2 exercises. Now we're gonna go into more of a traditional plank position, and this one we're gonna call it the elbow plank press. Okay, we're gonna work the triceps and your abdominals. Okay, so notice when we're doing a plank, we're gonna put with this one the back of your wrist on top of the ball, and your head is gonna be on that side of the ball, and then you set up your plank. So you're gonna go here, right? And then you're ready to set up the plank. As you set up your plank, you're gonna press with your wrist into the ball, and then come up, and then back down. You notice that? So you don't want your face over the ball, because then you feel the upper traps, and you feel your back, okay? So we want from here, maybe a little lats, but for sure, your abdominals. Again, head on that side, palms up, so you're pushing through here, so you can get the back of the arms working, okay? So that's how you know you're doing it wrong. You know you're doing it wrong when you feel it on the upper traps neck, or you're straining your back, okay? So that's exercise number 3. Number 4 is one of my favorite. I've done it for years and years, and it's called the bread slicer, okay? So I call it that because if you think of your kitchen tool where you put the bread and you slice it and there's different slots, you pretty much go in this direction, right? Forward and back. And that's pretty much what we're gonna do with the plank. We're gonna set up a plank similarly to what we just did, but instead of collapse, we're gonna prop it up, and then we're gonna slice the bread. So watch me what I do. I go here, now my thumbs are up, my head is on the other side. I set up a normal elbow plank, and then I go after my lats, and then back up to my abdominals. Notice where my head is. My head is in front. My head is not back here because that's too much on the upper traps, and the neck eventually gets to it, okay? So again, the bread slicer, feet apart, feet together. You choose how intense you want it in your abdominals, but you go definitely forward to feel your lats and then back to feel your abdominals, okay? And the same rules applies. If you feel the upper traps, shoulder, neck, you're off position, so you need to reset it. And if you feel your low back, then you're likely dropping your butt down, so you need to hike it up until you feel your abdominals. So like with all my exercises, we use a timer, so you can just focus on the muscle at work, okay, instead of counting reps. So when you get to 30 seconds per set, you know you can add on the next progression. So if you go to the FitLab Hub, inside the workout library, there's like 3 or 4 actually different ball exercise workouts that you can actually use at home or when you go to the gym, okay? But I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you guys next time. Talk to you later.